Guess birds might
Try
have
to get him.
Hello and welcome to the crossover, where nothing is out of bounds and everything is fair game. We have a lot to cover with you today, but first, let's check in with the Tunnel Crew. Please give a warm welcome to Stats, Aggie P, Rooftop, TP, and Baby Jesus.
Hey, everybody. And once again, it's time for At Home with the Crossover. I'm your man, Big T, alongside the usual cast of characters, my tag team partners, talking none other than the queen, the first lady, the doctor, mama is in the house. TP, what's up?
Blessings to everyone. Blessings on blessings on blessings.
I love it. Blessings on blessings. Let the blessings rain down. And then we got the man, he's got the Eagles hat on like he usually does, but he's got that championship belt draped over his shoulder because, you know, he's happy about the standings, and y'all will see why a little bit later on the show. But we're talking about Bird, man, is in the house. Bird, what's up?
Blessed to see 24 this coming Sunday.
24. Man, to be 24 again.
Yes, Lord.
And then we got the man that brings the Ag swag to the show. He's, as usual, he's representing them Aggies. Got that jacket on with the A&T logo, just sticking out. It's just, you know, you can't miss it.
That's
Talking
right.
about none other than Aggie P. Aggie P, what's up, man?
Hey, man, feeling good. Aggie Pride is nationwide, Big T.
There you go. I love it. And then we got Radar Charles in the house. Got his different sunglasses on tonight, a little fluorescent, little fluorescent green, look like glowing in the dark, you know. That still ain't gonna help you see. Radar's in the house. What's up, Radar?
Narrow is the way, Big T, when the Tunnel Crew time when we come to play, man.
Oh Lord.
Yeah. I'm a little tongue tied.
Get it out, man.
I'm just thrown off by the big game results. My team's lost, you know. I'm in bad shape, man.
I
feel like ADP right now.
Hey, I feel you. Hey, and together, y'all, we are the Tunnel Crew, watching everything that happens inside and outside the tunnel, leading to the lines of competition in the world of sports. On this very episode of At Home with the Crossover, we talk big game. We got a lot of big game talk tonight. We talk a huge NBA trade between, you know, two teams that had two malcontents, and so they just swapped problems, basically. So we'll get into that a little bit and talk about that. Hey, the NFL, you know, awards came out, so we'll hit on that as well, and much, much more. We got a packed show tonight. So let's get started with our hot topics. It's the hottest stories in sports. See, Radar, look what you've done, man. Hey, that's contagious, brother.
It is.
Hey, it's the hottest stories in sports. May not be what everybody else is talking about, but it's the things we, the Tunnel Crew, want to talk about. And of course, flaming hot right now is the big game. And the big game, it featured for the first time ever two number one drafted quarterbacks going head to head in the big game. Of course, that's Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow. Hey, not Bradford. That would be Stafford. That's an inside joke for those of you who don't know. Anyway, in the game, man, the Rams, they were the favorite, and they jumped out to a quick 13-3 lead, and some thought it was over. And then, you know, Odell Beckham Jr., man, he got started early with 2 catches, 52 yards, including the first touchdown to get the scoring started. Then he had a big knee injury in the second quarter, and once he went out, the Bengals were able to kind of bog down on Cooper Kupp and make life miserable for the Rams, and the Rams just could not run. I think they had 42 yards total for the game, but ultimately, you know, it ended up being the Rams defense that carried them through when they were struggling on offense. But before all that happened, man, the Bengals, man, they came out and took the lead back. At the start of the second half, you had Joe Burrow. hitting T. Higgins for a 75-yard bomb. It took 12 seconds, and that gave them the lead. And from there, you know, it looked like they were going to just run away with it because the next play, Stafford throws an interception very next play, and that leads to a Bengals field goal, and that put them up 20-13 at that point. But the Rams, like we said, their defense kept them in it. They only had 1 sack in the first half, 6 in the second half. They tied a big game record with 7 sacks. And, you know, we talked about this. That was a problem for Burrow. If you look back to the Titans playoff game, he got sacked 9 times. So it was a problem, and it showed up again against that ferocious pass rush. They had an 89% pass rush success rate, which, according to ESPN, was the highest of any game this entire season. And what that means is when you take their linemen and put them against the Bengals offensive linemen, they won 89% of the time. It doesn't mean they always got a sack, but it means they got pressure, or they stopped the run, or they did something that was beneficial to the Rams. So ultimately, the Rams ended up going on a big, huge 15-play, 4.5-minute drive at the end of the game that pretty much got them the win because it gave them the lead. And then you had Aaron Donald. I mean, the dude is a beast. He pretty much sealed it on 3rd and 1, stopping Mixon in his tracks. Reached out and grabbed him, pulled him back, and then 4th and 1, putting the heat on Burrow, throws an incomplete pass, game over. So your thoughts, Tonal Crew, on the big game. And listen, we know that we got this segment, but we're going to carry this talk over into the next segment. So have at it, because this is the bow officially on the NFL season, and we want to just talk about it. And it's even going to be our question of the day tonight. So it's all big game tonight. So Tonal Crew, your thoughts on what happened?
Great game, Big T. And it's so much that we can say. I know that I can say about the game, but I'm gonna try to save it for later on.
Yeah.
But when Odell Beckham got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
I think that really made it more of a closer game than the way it was looking.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
Yeah, because when he got hurt, Cincinnati adjusted defense to try to stop Kupp. And, they shut down the run. So it kind of made Stafford one-dimensional where he had to pass the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hated that Odell Beckham got hurt, but it did make it a better game to watch. Because Cincinnati had a chance to win the game.
They did.
Other than, because I was, when I first saw them come out and how Odell Beckham was getting loose, I said, we might be looking at a blowout here. He was doing it, man. I mean, he was open, and Kupp, he was open. So it was a good game. I mean, I have more to say, but I'm gonna let the rest of the Tonal Crew chime in.
All right. Yeah. Next up, who wants to go next? Radar. Don't sit there with that puzzled look, blind man.
You know what? I must admit, I think they would have made the adjustments and took Odell out before they took Kupp out. I thought it was just a matter of time because he, like you said, he only had a couple of receptions and he got a real good break on that one where he got the touchdown. But I wasn't impressed.
You what?
I wasn't impressed by Odell.
Really?
He can't finish the game, man. What are we talking about?
Man, that's not his fault now, brother.
Man, I seen people finish with a torn ACL, but I'm
come
not saying
on, man.
He's not that guy.
He got
I'm just
hurt,
saying,
Radar.
man.
I know he's not going there, is
He
he?
got to finish the game, man. I'm just saying.
See,
I'm just
you
saying.
thought they had some cream of Jesus on the sideline.
I mean,
Rub
come
on that
on,
knee.
come on, man.
You know what? This is why you are Radar and you have on those shades, because you are truly blind.
Blind.
Odell has been given.
Whoa! Wow!
Odell has been given for years. I really believe that Odell, and I think everybody knows this, Odell will give. He has given to his heart. And when I saw the injury, I mean, my heart just kind of sank for him because, you know, we always talk about the OGs and we want to pull for them. You know, we talked about this when it related to basketball. So for Odell, I do want him to win a ring. I do. Because I'm starting to think, is his mind starting to think now I'm injury prone all the time, which normally leads to retirement. And you know, you have on those shades, so I know you can't see. You talk about Tariq and you down him. You talk about Odell and you down him. But you know, I'm for the little man as well as the big man in this case.
Yeah.
You know, that's one thing. You know, even if we do choose a team within the crossover, you know, there are some people you still kind of pulling for. So he was one of the ones that I was still kind of pulling for. It was just exciting to see him. And I do believe that he was a great factor as far as what he was able to do to accomplish for them to win. So yeah.
Well, and you know what, to piggyback off what you said, that's what's so cool about, you know, him getting I mean, you hate that he got the injury, but his impact was felt before the injury. So it's not like one of those where a guy, because we've seen big games where some key player gets hurt on the first series, you know, maybe on the first or second snap, and then you see them on the sideline the rest of the game with a sling on. And after the game is over and the team's won, the confetti's falling, they're out there with the sling. And it's like, I wonder if they feel like they contributed, you know, Right. And so he can feel like, you know, because if you take his touchdown off the board, they lose the game, you know.
But real quick, y'all act like he started with them and played all year with them, like it's all sentimental. He came in halfway through.
Okay, and I'm going to relate to your favorite person, Tariq. Tariq just won the Ed Block Courage Award. Okay, he has not played all year, but he definitely made an impact into that locker room because he got that locker room excited. It was all on social media. We don't know all the time if Odell is doing the same. You start to feel within your body when you need to retire. We hear Aggie P say, my body can't do what it used to do. So we don't know in the locker room. And plus, when they hire you as a veteran, they already know, they're already telling you when you sign your contract, you are going to be more so mentoring a lot of guys. And I think that's where a lot of the tears came in. Because I'm not going to lie, I kind of got a little choked, you know, seeing him. It's just like, we know he has been wanting this, and we know that when those tears fell, okay, he did some work. So everything is not about just on the field, even though that's important, but it's getting those guys going to where you can produce your best even when you're hurt. And I think his presence after he was hurt, knowing that, no, I'm going to stay here and stand behind my team. You're just a hater, Radar.
Hey, Bird, jump on in here, man. Your thoughts.
I need Aggie P Radar to follow me up to the front of the congregation because we have some very apologizing to do. I came on the air and said that Sean McVay was going to choke, and those two were trashing Odell. Well, they proved you wrong. Odell is a world champion, and Sean McVay, I'm a man about it. I'll apologize to you. You are not choke artists.
Hey, and
he
you know what?
He didn't finish the game, man.
Well, I'm sorry, Bird, man.
So you're sorry,
going to the altar with you on this one. Hey, I hate that Odell got hurt, but he's still Odell Beckham.
Yeah.
Because what I was afraid of, Cincinnati winning, and everybody commentating would be saying, well, they wouldn't have won if Odell Beckham was here.
That's true.
I just saw that coming as the big story, but you're going to have to go to the altar by yourself. I still say what I say about Odell. But personally, I just hate to see a player get hurt. That's, I wanted him to play the whole game, to make it even competition. But he's still Odell Beckham. It's going to show if he's able to get a contract.
It is.
To come back next year. I hope
because he's going to leave to get a contract with another team.
Well, hey, when we come back, we've got more to talk about on the big game. We've also got, like we said, that big NBA trade and other things to talk about. You're listening to At Home with the Crossover.
What's so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, The Joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Make sure you catch us every Tuesday night live on YouTube. Catch Radar Charles with his his hat on, you know, trying to be like me now, wearing a hat, you know. Catch Birdman with his title belt over his shoulder, Aggie P with the A&T gear on, and of course the Queen in the mansion, you know. Catch all of us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. live on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends about it. Then on Thursday night, you can catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show, and that's Thursday nights at 7 p.m. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app, and you can find it on Google Play and in the iTunes store. All right, now it's time for our Black History question of the day. And the question is this: who was the first Black quarterback to start a season as the starting quarterback? This same guy also is the first Black quarterback to win a playoff game. And he's also the first Black quarterback to be voted to a Pro Bowl and win Pro Bowl MVP. I kid you not. So that is the Black History question of the day. You can go to the YouTube page and post your comments or your answers and let us know what you think. And then at the end of this segment, we'll tell you if you're right or not. All right, let's get back into the big game right quick. And you know I love my numbers, so I'm going to go through them. I'm going to spit out a bunch of numbers, and then I'm going to hand it back off to the crew, all right? So the big game MVP ended up being Cooper Kupp. He had 8 receptions for 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I went even deeper when I was looking at it, and I broke it down. So he had 4, because I thought, man, he did a lot in the second half, but he didn't do much in the first half. That's not true. He had 4 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown in the first half. In the second half, 4 catches for 52 yards and a touchdown. So he was balanced, y'all. I mean, the only difference was 12 yards. He had 12 more yards in the second half. The reason it felt like he did more in the second, because most of that came on that last drive, that 15-play drive. On that 15-play drive, they had 7 passes thrown to Kupp, completed 5 of them, and then there was a 4th and 1 where they handed off to him, and he ran for 7 yards and picked up a first down. So
that's what you call a dominant receiver right there. That's a dominant receiver.
Hey,
that's a ball player right there. That's a ball player. He tore his ACL last year, came back this year, and won the MVP. He played the whole game, 4 quarters.
Right on. All you got to do is call Eli Apple. He made a highlight on him, man. If you look back at the highlights, anyway, and he was a New York Giants product. So that's how I know that they got it, Eli Apple. So
Yeah. Well, and that was a gutsy call, that 4th and 1, because they were on their own 30. I mean, if you don't get that, the game is over, because it was like 5 minutes left when they made that call.
But Big T, that's the call you have to make.
Yeah.
And that's the call that Cincinnati should have did with Chase, the same thing. When you're in a situation like that, get the ball in your playmaker's hand.
There you go.
Because a lot of times, even if it looked like they're going to get stopped, their skills and their talent is going to get you that first down.
That's exactly right.
And that's what happened, man. So, yeah.
Hey, and then finally, when it comes to my numbers here, Sean McVay at 36 years old became the youngest coach ever to win the big game. But this guy has a list of accomplishments now. So he became the youngest head coach ever to be hired in the History League in 2017, became the youngest to lead a team to the playoffs, came the youngest to lead a team to the big game, came the youngest to lead a team to 2 big games, came the youngest to win to lead a team to a victory in the big game, and he's the youngest to win Coach of the Year. So wow. Why is there so much talk this week about him retiring? You know, he was asked about that yesterday. You know, is he going to retire and everything? He said, "We'll see." What in the world is going on with that, y'all?
What's going on there? I
mean, it's the money. I think if he retired, he could come back and ask for whatever he wanted and have front office control.
Mm-hmm.
And start over.
Yeah.
Good point.
Legacy.
Didn't think about it like they're Ray Charles.
Hey, you know what? I can see that much.
Right. That's a very good point, man.
Hey, that is a pretty good point there.
Yeah.
It is a very good point, and it's very negotiable. You know, anytime they want to put more money on the table. I mean, you know, I really do sometimes think, I'm going to be honest, I really do sometimes think, was this supposed to be the same way with Brady?
Mm-hmm.
Because I do believe there was supposed to be a time or two that he might have retired, but when they put that money on the table, he was like, you know, anytime. I mean, and not only him, let's look at other people in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Because of some of the illnesses and stuff that have been more transparent, I really believe that some of these guys would not have stayed if they didn't have to think about futures of their children, wives, you know, and other family members, especially those who get sick. I mentioned insurance before. These things start to add up when you start to live a higher income lifestyle. You know,
that's right.
Expenses add up. So I really think that money talks. And I think that might be talking to him if we see him again next season.
Yeah.
Trust me, they would not mention it. They would not have said it if it did not utter out of his mouth before.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, and Aaron Donald also, you know, he was talking about, you know, possibly retiring before the game started. And so they were talking to him about that while they were celebrating. He said, "Look, I'm in the moment right now, but you know, we'll deal with that later."
That
so there's
classic.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
I would love to see him walk away from the game right now.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he's worked hard. He got his ring, and to make a statement like that, he probably have taken care of his money.
Yeah.
So this could be a lesson to the other players. You know, don't try to do this for 10 and 15 years.
Yeah. Because this would be I think it's his 9th year, you know?
Yeah.
And he's won 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards. He's won Defensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, you know, the guy has done everything. Now he's played in 2 championships. Now he's won a championship. You know, he's been to the Pro Bowl, I think 7 times, All Pro like 7 times, you know. So, I mean, it's almost like, okay, what else is there for him to do, you know?
Right. Enjoy your family, man.
He can go open up a rec center and do camps for the rest of his life and be done.
Everybody be at that camp right now.
You want to rush like Aaron Donald? Go to my camp.
Yeah. Hey, now, so there was other stories surrounding the big game, you know, and Roger Goodell, he always does a State of the Union address. So he came out and addressed the Brian Flores lawsuit and basically said it was unacceptable, the lack of diversity, head coaching diversity in the league. And I'm sitting here like, You mean unacceptable? You the guy that's running the thing, you know? I mean, and then he says the league's going to investigate the claims of Brian Flores, and if it's found to be true, then there will be penalties against my Dolphins. The owner, Stephen Ross. There's talk they might force him to sell the team because they said his trying to pay the coach to tank games is egregious. And then finally they said that he said he's going to seek an independent review to examine the hiring processes. And then this news came out that they're considering giving a high round, they don't know if it's going to be a first or second round, but a high round draft pick to a team that hires a minority coach. Now, the funny thing about that, there's been pushback from Black coaches because they said that feels like you bribing teams to hire a Black coach.
Like you want to throw a bone or something, No, don't do that. We want stuff to be equal. Don't do it. We won't. Anyway, that's another show.
We talked about this again.
Calm down, Aggie.
That's the way they think. Show. That's the way they think.
Okay, you gonna say it for me. Okay, appreciate you, Radar. I didn't want to go there, Radar. Thank you, brother.
There you go. Bird, your thoughts.
What he's saying. Exactly what he's saying, because then it starts to feel like, okay, are you buying a coach? Are you buying a coach? And if you're buying a coach, especially one of color, it reminds us of times in past. And it proves Colin Kaepernick's point.
Yeah.
When it came to football, not the other point, but when it comes to some of the points that he made in a documentary that he did. And don't want to compare the two from times past to what he compared that football is when they pick people.
Yeah.
And we want to say, hey, if I'm gonna be honest, if the practice was, and this is what a lot of executives do, if the practice was, do not put any names on the resume and just submit the resume.
Yeah.
And if they happen to pick that person, that would be great.
Yeah.
And then to maybe put one or two in if that person was not a minority.
Yeah.
Then even with that, let's still cut off the resume. Cut off the names. That is what some companies do in order to not just look at what they have done, but to kind of look at some of the skills to at least get the interview. That's being more fair.
Hey, we're gonna jump into the big game on the next segment. We're gonna jump on to that blockbuster trade we were talking about in the NBA, because there was a little NBA news that trickled through the NFL headlines. Last week, trade deadline for the NBA came and went, and Ben Simmons, the malcontent from the 76ers, was traded to the Nets for their malcontent, James Harden. But it seems like maybe, the Nets got the most of this deal, because they not only got Simmons, but they got Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, and 2 first-round draft picks, all for Ben Simmons. So it seemed like somebody was taken to school in this trade. And now we're gonna find out if you made a mistake, because you got 2 unhappy guys, and they're just going into a situation where they're both unhappy. What if things don't work out in their new team? Are they still gonna be unhappy? Tono Crew, your thoughts on this big trade?
I think it's going to work out for both teams in actuality, because because Harden has the history with the GM from Houston, and they're already talking about him signing on long term as long as him and Embiid can get on the same page. And he's getting ready to take a break and not start playing until after the All-Star break. And then with Simmons, you got time, but if Durant leaves, that's a busted deal.
Yeah. Bird, your thoughts?
It's just like in the words of Biggie, more money, more problems. Both of them are good players, but I just don't see it working out the way that Radar is portraying it to work out.
Okay. All right. Well, listen up, y'all. I hate to cut that one off, but we're up against the break here. Hey, everybody, make sure to catch this live at-home edition of the Crossover every Tuesday night on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Catch the audio version of the show. That's Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Catch the audio version of the show on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on WLJFradio.com. Hey, and the answer to that question, James Harris. James Harris. He was drafted by the Bills in 1969, traded to the Rams in 1973, made the Pro Bowl in 1974. All right, when we come back, it's time for the question of the day.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact me at my website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.inservice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, 2 locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry, join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. Make sure you catch all the fun, the shenanigans, all of the craziness of the Tunnel Crew each and every Tuesday night live on YouTube. Go to the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends about it. Then on Thursday night, catch the audio version of the original Crossover Sports Show. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the 100.7 WLJF app. It's available both on Google Play and in the iTunes store. All right, TP, you got some social media shout outs for us?
We have some social media shout outs, and we want to thank everyone for supporting us, and also on our radio station,
Absolutely.
WLJF. So we want to thank everyone. We want to thank everybody on YouTube and all of our social media presence. We just really want to thank you for your support. Small Wonder has definitely been checking in, and she not only said hello, but you know, the conversation has really increased a lot on social media, on YouTube, when we kind of got to the point of bringing up the point between that we all did when it was concerning, you know, Flores, but then leading to how the coaches and everything, you know. So Small Wonder said, absolutely don't do that. When we were talking about, hey, this is kind of how that like mentality
bribing.
Yes. And so then we have Miss Nisi Pfeiffer, who said, this is exactly what they do to us African Americans. It's very sad. She also said gimmicks shouldn't be what they use to hire anyone, which is exactly the point. You know, we all love this sport. And so, you know, if we love it, we want to love it and unify in it. Same thing of what's going on right now with the Olympics. We want to be seen as equal. And I know that sports is one of the greatest things in the world that does bring us together. And so we would hope that through this sport that people will be able to do that, you know, and to look at everyone equally, even though we know it takes time to do so. So I want to thank everybody so far for your comments. Keep the conversation going, and keep supporting us throughout our show.
All right, thank you everybody. Thank you, listeners. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your comments. We love you. We appreciate you. God bless you. All right, real quick before we jump into our question today, I just want to mention these awards. NFL awards happen. Aaron Rodgers, of course, won his 4th league MVP, his 2nd straight. It was a landslide, 39 votes. The next closest person was Tom Brady. He only had 10 votes. And it was Aaron Rodgers' 3rd season throwing for 35 plus touchdowns and 5 or fewer interceptions. That's the most all time. You had Cooper Kupp winning Offensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt, who tied Michael Strahan's NFL sack record with 22.5 sacks. He's won Defensive Player of the Year. Micah Parsons for Dallas, 13.5 sacks, won Defensive Rookie of the Year. And, it was a landslide there. There was nobody else that got a vote. He ran away with that one. And then Jamar Chase, who finished 4th in receiving yards with 1,455 yards, he won Offensive Rookie of the Year. So they're all the awards for the National Football League. Real quick, any comments on those awards, y'all?
Aaron Rodgers shouldn't got MVP after he choked at home.
But they said they vote on it before the playoffs, so said they didn't stop doing it.
I could tell he was going to choke. I was like, nah, don't give him that award. No,
he said don't give him that award.
Give it to Brady. I'd rather them give it to Brady.
She is not a fan of Aaron Rodgers.
Who's that?
Miss Nisi Pfeiffer says she is
not a fan.
Oh, that makes 2 of us.
Hey, my cousin, he's been saying all year, Aaron got a little cocky this year. He said, I used to like him, but he said he got a little cocky this year. Well, if you think he cocky now, he done won back-to-back MVPs and 4 for his career. Get ready.
Oh, he about to show out. Oh, he gonna show out worse than Odell.
All right, let's jump on into the question of the day, y'all. And it basically is simple. It's our reflections, the Tunnel Crew. We want to reflect on the big game. Our reflections and thoughts on the big game. That's the question of the day. Have at it, y'all.
I want to jump in here and say I've never seen somebody get so much credit for not finishing the game. I don't care what none of y'all say on this panel, but I'm appalled at all the credit y'all giving this dude for not finishing the game. Give him his ring and move along. That's all I got to say. I just got to get that out.
We just hate that the brother got hurt. And before he got hurt, he was lighting it up.
He was.
If he wasn't dancing so hard when he got that first touchdown, he might wouldn't have pulled his ankle.
That's just emotions, man. He was just
he was dancing too hard. You would have told me to calm down if I danced that hard on the first touchdown. You're like, come on now, dog. We still got 4 quarters.
But you know what?
Quarters, great on.
Cam Newton was dancing hard when he came back, but we don't see the increase of that in points.
That's different. He's a quarterback. He should have known better. He was dancing so hard in that end zone, and then he messed around and hurt his knee, and then he's sitting up there crying. And everybody's like, oh, damn. Let's give him the MVP trophy. Just because he showed up.
I wasn't a part of all that radar now.
So you weren't a part of that?
I was like, go somewhere and sit down.
I don't know. I saw you crying too.
Hey, I want to, because of how his injury happened, everything, there was a lot of guys on social media, especially on Twitter, a lot of players commenting about what happened. And I'm just going to read a couple of them here. Nick Chubb said 90% of players prefer real grass over artificial turf. I sprained my MCL on artificial turf. George Kittle said, I love grass. It's better for my body. Nick Bosa said, all players are one play away from altering their career forever when playing on artificial turf. And then there was a host of other guys that said things like, one guy said, this blank turf, man, that was, and then another guy said, man, the NFL needs to ban turf from all stadiums. Somebody else said, those freaking turf fields. Somebody else said, turf should be banned. And then the last one that I thought was very interesting said 28% more non-contact lower body injuries happen on artificial turf than grass. So it seems like that Odell Beckham Jr. injury has started a movement. We've seen movements over the last years. They start small, but they start to gain momentum and pick up speed and they take off. So That's one of the reflections of the game is there going to be a movement to get rid of artificial turf coming out of this?
Well, Big T, I think it already has been a movement. The stadium, the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium, they have natural turf, and they have a system where they grow the grass outside of the stadium.
Yep.
And the system brings it in for every game. So when that grass come in and they play on it, some more grass is being grown. So if everybody can look at how they are doing things because they have the newer stadium, maybe it might be something they'll start looking at because that turf is dangerous. It doesn't give like natural grass.
Yeah.
You know, there's an old injury back in our day they used to call turf toe. Like if you're running fast and you go to plant your feet, if your toe going to that turf, you're done. I mean, it's the worst injury. You can't even put on a shoe after that.
Yeah.
It takes a good while for it to heal. So I think if enough players start complaining to these owners and, you know, amongst the other stuff that's going on in the NFL, we might see natural grass in the future. We just might.
Yeah. Yeah. TP, you say you got a background in dealing with turf and everything. Your thoughts on it?
Yes, I do. So this is my area in facility management. And the reason why I love it is because it's something that I teach. It's something that I know about, especially in my career. So there are different types of turf, exactly what Aggie P was saying. So of course you have grass, which is the preferred. Some of the stadiums like to have, grass with some artificial plastic fibers. And those are the fibers that absorb water. And what happens is as it rains, those fibers will absorb the rainwater and it's supposed to soak into the grass. And then it will come out through the irrigation system that would then go like to your out to the street. And then you have where it's just all natural turf, like Aggie was saying before, all natural turf. And of course, we know that is the worst. That right there is going to break ankles. We just know it. Okay. And, you know, you have, like I said, you have different ones. You have them, of course, in different price points. And, you know, Elon is known to have the same type of system as the Panthers. They pretty much did their homework. So, you know, in some of the stadiums and things that you have, I agree with Aggie P. I believe that, you know, and I think with the Raiders, that's one of the things that they're probably doing is experimenting with the Raiders with it, which is to have pretty much a natural system. If it does have any type of artificial fibers in them, then it's just something that's probably going to be even further below to whereas it's not going to give any give to the players, because that was another point, was for it to be a little bouncy for less injuries. But it just seems like the players just want to go back to when they were kids and just play on natural
grass. Yep, that's right. Bird, your reflections on the big game.
Momentum. That is my reflection on all of the big game, because you look at what the Bengals did. They went for it way too early. It on fourth down. It's early. You don't need to be trying to be like a hero right now. You just punt it or take your chances. And then the Rams go down there, get the touchdown with Odell Beckham, miss the extra point. How do you miss the extra point? How do you bump? I don't know. That. And then what's with my man running off the sidelines when the Bengals scored a touchdown?
Oh, yeah, got the penalty.
What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're not in the game. You know better than that as a player. If you're not playing, they're going to call that. And they didn't even call that during the game. They called that during commercial.
Yeah.
We had to come back and find that.
What was funny?
Yeah,
he did. And what was funny, when they came back, they showed him on the sideline. You see that look on his face? He looked like somebody had gave him a good stern talking to during the commercial break.
And you notice you didn't see him no more during that game. They told him to sit right there on that bench. Don't you get up anymore.
Sit your tail down, boy.
That's right.
It was a little bit more vulgar than that, Big T. I already know. I've been around football teams.
Hey, it's a family show. You know, we keeping it clean. Hey, Radar, your thoughts, man. Okay. Oh, so go ahead, Aggie.
Looking at the big game, one thing that I was really looking at. I know that Cincinnati was underdogs, and I was pulling for them. But right now, I'm kind of feeling sorry for Cincinnati, and I'm gonna tell you why. You know, everybody say, "Hey, they can still make it if they get a new offensive line."
Yeah.
Right. But in the AFC, you know, you got Josh Allen.
That's the beast right there.
We saw what he can do.
Yep.
Okay, I'm not finished. We got Mac Jones.
Yep.
Hey, he's looking pretty good.
Yep.
Then my homie.
Yep.
You know, and then even what's the guy from the Chargers? Herbert.
Herbert. Yep.
Yep. Herbert. Okay.
Hey, don't, and let's not sleep on Carr because he had a great season this year for the Raiders. You know.
Right. So even if they rebuild that offensive line, who to say that they're going to get back there like
That's
that?
right.
I mean, that was once in a lifetime chance for them to get that Super Bowl ring. It's going to be really difficult for them to get back. And that's the one thing that I took from the big game. You know, okay, you know, the Rams are the Rams. I don't know what happened to the Rams running game.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was terrible. But even making Stafford one-dimensional in that last drive, he showed me that he can be that quarterback. You know, and I know I talked a lot of noise about him in the past, but my hat go off to him. I mean, he was throwing into tight windows, and he made it happen. So so my hat is. But we did see bad Stafford though. He did throw a couple interceptions.
Yeah,
but he did manage to do enough to win the game.
Well, and that was his third game-winning drive in these playoffs. It matched your guy Eli Manning as the most ever in a postseason run. And hey, give him credit. He was 0-3 in the playoffs heading into this season. He went 4-0, and he became the third quarterback in the history of the league to win the big game in his first year with his new team.
Right.
And look at the fire this is going to light up under Lamar Jackson,
Russell
Wilson, and all these other quarterbacks that land somewhere in free agency. Everybody going to try to sit up here and say, "Hey, I want some of this."
Yeah.
Time's off the plate now.
That's right. Well, we think because you know a lot of people said they believe come August.
I would not be surprised.
I'm back.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised.
I don't know, Big T. I think the wife got something to do with this one.
So you got
the Bucks had already said that they keeping the door open for TV.
Oh yeah. They want him to come back. You know, they hoping he comes back.
And God forbid he go to San Francisco. Oh, think about it.
What we gonna do with Jimmy G?
They gonna ship him out. Jimmy G might end up in New York City.
He going to Carolina. He going to the Panthers.
Send him to the Panthers.
Yeah.
Boy, Floyd. He made for the Big Apple.
Hey, y'all, be sure to catch this live at-home version of the crossover every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. on the Love and Faith Radio YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about it. And then on Thursday nights, catch the audio version of the original crossover sports show. You can find it online at WLJFradio.com. You can also download the app. It's available both on Google Play and in the iTunes store. When we come back, it's time for the wrap-up.
Why so sad when the joy is here? What's the answer? Joy in the morning, the crossover. You can find them all right here on 100.7 WLJF. There's no need to be down when there's plenty of joy to go around. Get your daily dose and turn that frown upside down. Love and Faith Radio, 100.7 WLJF, the joy.
My name is Priscilla Van. I'm with Hometown Insurance Service. I'm an independent insurance agent that specializes in Medicare, senior solutions, life, and health. I work with dozens of companies so that I can offer you the appropriate coverage as well as the affordable price for your insurance needs. If I can help you, please contact the website, hometowninsuranceservice.com, or email me at hometown.insurvice, or you can find me on Facebook at Hometown Insurance Service. Thank you.
Times are changing. We all have questions about the future. Join us as we find the answers through the Word of God.
Love and Faith Christian Fellowship invites you to join our congregation. One church, two locations, Greensboro and Kernersville.
We're helping people on their path to find God as we provide spiritual leadership and growth through diverse ministry.
Celebrating over 25 years of ministry. Join our Love and Faith community where Jesus Christ is Lord and the people are loved.
It's time now for the crossover wrap-up report. Let's send it back to the Tunnel Crew.
All right, welcome back to At Home with the Crossover. And hey, one quick mention: the Hall of Fame inductees were announced last week, and hey, we got a Carolina Panther going in, Big Sam Mills. Posthumously, he passed away, several years, well, a long time ago, but he was the heart and soul of that Panthers defense. He also played for the Saints. So congratulations to Sam Mills getting in. It was his last chance, until he went to the veterans to vote. And so just so happy for him and for Carolina Panthers Nation. Hey, congratulations, Sam Mills, going into the Hall of Fame. Just wish he could be alive to be here to see it,
Right.
All right. Let's go ahead and look at the picks, the results from last week and the standings and all of that good stuff. So we basically went with all big game prop picks last week, longest run, most passing yards, most passing TDs, all that kind of stuff. And I was on an island by myself again. I was on an island by myself with Georgia against Alabama, and I was on an island by myself with the Rams. Everybody picked the Bengals, and I was the only one picked the Rams. That's what saved me, because Aggie P was breathing right down my neck. But what saved me was I picked the Rams and he didn't. So standings look like this: 7-3 for me. I won the week. Aggie P went 6-4. Birdman, Stats, and TP went 4-6, and Bromel and Radar went 3-7. So the overall standings look like this. You got a three-way log jam in first place with Aggie P at 19-15. Me at 19-15, and Birdman at 19-15. Then at second place, we got another log jam. We got Bromel, Radar, and TP are all 18-16. I know Bromel's numbers they're looking a little different, but it's supposed to be 18-16. And then we got Stats bringing up the rear with 15-19. All right, so the picks for this week look like this. We went heavy on the NBA because it's NBA All-Star weekend, and everyone basically had to pick the All-Star game result plus either the dunk contest winner or the three-point contest winner, and then any other pick that you wanted to pick out of the ones that were left. We got a total of 4 picks, and the NBA games look like this. We got the Mavs at the Heat on tonight, I think at 8:30. Then we got the 76ers at the Bucks, and that's Thursday night. Then we got the All-Star game on Sunday night. Team Durant or Team LeBron was your choices. 3-point contest. The favorites are Desmond Bain, Trae Young, Luke Kennard, Patty Mills, Fred VanVleet, or you could pick any other contestant because there are a couple other guys in it that I didn't list. And then the slam dunk contest. You had to pick slam dunk contest winner. There are only 4 people competing in it this year. Jalen Green, the rookie from Atlanta. You got Obi Toppin from the Knicks. You got Cole Anthony from Orlando and Juan Toscano Anderson. And then finally, we got a college basketball game. We got Birdman's Wake Forest Demon Deacons at 20-6 on the road at number 9 Duke tonight, 21-4. That game is happening right now. Should be about halftime. Bird, what's the score, my man?
Score at halftime is Duke 42, Wake Forest 33.
9-point game. So it's in striking distance for Wake Forest. All right. So let's go ahead and go with the picks. And I guess I'll go with mine first. I've got I took the Heat. I took Team LeBron. I took Obi Toppin to win the dunk contest, and I took Duke to beat Birdman's Wake Forest Demon Deacons. All right, who do we have next? We got Bird.
All right, I took the Heat. I took the Bucks, Team LeBron, and Trae Young 3-point contest.
All right. Who's up next? TP.
All right. These picks are on behalf of Taekwon for my first aid class.
All right.
I have the Heat, the Bucks, Team Durant, Jalen Green with the dunk contest.
All right. And then next up, we got Radar.
Well, all right. I'm going with the Heat, the Bucks, Team Durant, and Jalen Green for the dunk contest.
All right. And for Bro Mel, we've got the Bucks, Team Durant, Patty Mills to win the three-point contest, and he took Duke to beat Wake Forest. Next, we got Aggie P.
Yeah, I got the Heat, Team Durant, L. Kennard for the three-point contest, and Duke.
All right. And I think that leaves us with our man Stats, and Stats has got the Bucks, Team Durant, Desmond Bain to win the three-point contest, and Jalen Green to win the dunk contest. So that's all the Tunnel Crew picks for this week, and we'll see how we did coming back on next week. All right, it's time for shout-outs or shut up and play candidates, and we'll start with the Queen.
I actually have a shout out to the Davis family. Today is the day that my friend transitioned a few years ago to glory. And my goddaughter, I want to give a shout out to her, Lachey Davis, in remembrance of her mother, Chantel Candy Davis.
Hey, prayers up, y'all. Prayers up. All right, Bird.
I want to shout out my mom, Niecy Pfeiffer. She's been commenting a lot lately, so and her team winning. So
there you go.
She did. She said, "Go Blue Devils."
Oh man! Oh, she's a Duke fan. Oh,
yes.
Aggie P.
That's good. Oh, Bird, man. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. You say me, Big T?
Yes, sir.
Oh, shout out to my son Joshua Palmer, 17th birthday today.
All right.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, young man. And Radar Charles, can you see the well, I guess now go ahead, man.
You know what? Anyway, I'd like to give a shout out to TP and Little Change, the staff at the market. They
Little
put me on the
Changers.
team.
Yeah,
Little Changers. They brought me on the team, and I was just able to be there and help support them in their endeavors to improve the community.
There you go.
I'd like to give my shout out to TP and her crew.
Awesome. That's a nice shout out, man. Good shout out. Hey, I got a shut up and play candidate, man. It goes to Kyler Murray, man, because he removed anything referencing the Arizona Cardinals from his Instagram page, changed his picture. He got a picture of him wearing the Cardinals. He changed it to the one of him wearing an Oklahoma uniform / wearing an Oakland A's uniform. And then, he basically wants to come back and say, because there's a lot of heat coming on him for this, and he wants to come back and say, I'm not about the drama. I didn't start this and this and that. You're the one that removed the stuff from your website, man. You're the one that started this. Nobody would have said anything if you didn't just scrub your Instagram of all Arizona Cardinals stuff. So you got something started, and now you want to put it. He's up here saying, he feels like he's being made a scapegoat and being blamed for the late season collapse and for that 34-11 blowout against the Rams in the wild card round, because remember, they start off 7-0 and then completely fell apart. So there you go. Hey, shut up and play, Kyler Murray. All right, y'all. For the Queen.
Blessings to everyone.
For Birdman. For Aggie P.
No weapon.
For Radar.
Narrow is the way, Big T.
I'm your man, Big T, signing off and saying, no matter where you are, look up and know that your creator is there. Until next time, see ya, and we might want to be.
That's all we have for you today. So be sure to join us next week for the crossover. And remember, the Tunnel Crew don't play unless we have something to say.